Hello and thank you for watching Girl Talk with Gyllian. Today we have a lot of fantastic guests in the building. And remember, you're watching Bronx Net. Okay, we gotta do it for the Bronx. We are in the building. Can I get a hand clap? So today I'll be interviewing Bronx Council on the Arts and Bronx Museum, as well as some women who are gonna talk to us about being a positive role model in the society despite what media portrays us to be or expects us to be, as well as some influential young men who are striving for excellence. So stay tuned, we're coming right up with the interviews. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching Girl Talk with Gyllian. We just finished speaking with Bronx Council on the Arts. Right now, I'll be interviewing a very essential woman from the Bronx Museum of Arts, which is an internationally recognized cultural destination founded in 1971. It has played a vital role in the Bronx by helping to make art accessible to the entire community and connecting with local schools, artists, teens, and families throughout its robust education. Right now, I'll be interviewing the Director of Community and Public Programs. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Lauren Click. Thank you so much for being a part of today's show.
Sure, thank you so much for having me.
No problem. So, aside from the beautiful art that the Bronx Museum has to offer, can you tell me about some of the programs available, such as the teen and family programs that you offer?
Yeah, sure. Our teen program just celebrated its 10th anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah. It's we bring in a group of teens and sort of train them in making podcasts and making something like this. This is a zine. So it's a small magazine. Yeah. So they get experience in both publishing their own art. This is teen artwork. And then also putting it together, working as a group, working on...
That's fantastic.
Yeah, you missed it when you were a teen, right?
I did.
This one was made with a group of teens from Cuba, since we have our exhibition up currently of our permanent collection in Cuba.
Absolutely.
So they exchanged, there's some images of it in here. They sent things to one another in packages, because in Cuba the internet doesn't work so well.
Right.
So they couldn't really send email or anything. So they ended up doing a physical exchange and collaborating. So this is artwork from teens both in Cuba and at the Bronx Museum.
That is beautiful. Which borough do you know that affiliates with Cuban artists and exchanges art? The Bronx. Wow. So tell me, I know that aside from this fantastic project, the Bronx Museum has collaborated with El Museo Nacional de Bellas Artes, which is a Cuban museum, and you guys are hosting an exhibition called Wild Noise. Can you tell us a little bit about that exhibition?
Oh, sure. We're very pleased to, we've sent our permanent collection, so the artwork that the Bronx Museum owns. We sent about 70 artworks to, it's their version of like the Met.
Okay.
So we have an exhibition there of the best work that we have from our collection.
Wow.
And it's fascinating because we have similar sort of missions and visions, and their institution and the Bronx Museum were started by community members for the community where they are, and the same for the Museo Nacional.
That's
so
fantastic.
We're working on getting artworks from their collection to be shown here at the Bronx Museum.
Absolutely.
Which is, I mean, it would be unprecedented. Some of the work has never left Cuba, because you're talking about they've been sort of isolated for 50 years, right?
Absolutely.
So we are thrilled to be working with them in this capacity and to be showing off cool urban artwork, both by Bronx-based artists and a little bit broader spread of artists, and then also to hopefully bring their work here.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. So, being that you helped to develop the programs at Bronx Museum, how did you find the idea to exchange art between the U.S. and Cuba, being that we have an embargo with them?
Yeah, it started as a very long conversation that I'm sort of outside of, because I'm not directly in the curatorial department.
Right.
Our executive director wrote a book about Cuban art about 10 years ago. Don't cite me on that because she might
watch it and say, girl, what are you talking about?
I know.
I'm just kidding.
But which is a wonderful book. She's a curator at heart, and so she initially studied Cuban art. And so she's been in conversation with artists. She's known artists there for years and years and years.
Wow.
But then also, the conversation has been a long time coming. As you can imagine, it takes a lot of just coordinating, like politically and logistically. But the base idea is bringing these two. The very root of it, the idea is really fantastic. That's why we all pushed for it over and over and over again. We kept pushing for it.
Definitely. And not only do you guys have fantastic exhibitions, you also have free programs available for Bronx teens and educators. Can you name a few of those programs they have to offer?
Sure. So, the teen programming. So there's the teen program, which is an after-school, a couple times a week program. We also have something called Family Affair, which is open it's 5 times a year.
Wow.
It's open for children from 12 and under, and they need to come with a parent because part of the idea is to be making artwork with a parent. So it's like 1 to 4 or 5 times a year. It's totally free. 99% of our programs are free, which is extremely important to us. We're free admission as well. So for kids, they can come to the Family Affair. They can apply for the teen programs when they get a little older. We also do school partnerships where we send teaching artists, something that we have, which I think is really cool and interesting, that the people that give the guided tours and like give a tour if you were to go with a group, they're all artists.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they all have their own kind of spin and view, and they all work. They'll make art, which makes it different. It gives it a different perspective because we don't want art to be this thing that's on the wall, that's distant from you, that's in history, that's Mona Lisa that you can't touch, and it's between 20 feet of glass, which has its place. But we want people to come and meet artists and talk, and create their own art and think about art in a different way.
Absolutely.
So we also have these teaching artists that go into schools that go repetitively and they do different kind of projects. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It's fun and the kids absolutely love it because you get repeated interaction with artists and you get to make all kinds of different art, and they generally do a parade at the end or some kind of big celebration at the end, which is wonderful.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. In schools where art's being cut consistently.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
That is so true. So tell me, I can just hear your passion for art. Do you believe that art has a social and cultural impact on society?
Yeah. When I got that question, I was like, oh, you get it. Yeah. Sorry, you can edit that out. But
No, it's fine. Just being the fact that you're a part of an arts organization. I know that it's a profession for you, but just in your personal life, like how do you see art impacting society?
Yeah, I mean, particularly working at an arts institution, that I feel like it's a place that somebody can come and sort of get out of their rhythm, their own head, and you get to see and explore things in a different way. And it also, in our case, we're trying to make a very safe space. So free admission, come and come back many, many times. So you have time out of your normal routine to both think critically, but then also to have a safe space, because in the arts you can do kind of anything and everything you want. As
you
I'm sure you
can.
Imagine. So we want people to come think very broadly and, not necessarily walk out and do whatever they want to do. But
exactly.
Yeah, I feel like it's got a sort of psychological place for people to come and heal and think and talk and be comfortable.
That's fantastic. So being that you work at a museum now, I have to ask you, which piece have you walked past that has captivated you? And
yeah. Oh my goodness, that's a good question.
I know.
Because there's so many. In every show that we have, there's something that you walk in the door, you walk through the exhibitions.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you go like, whoa, what is that, after something new is hung? We have, we're taking them down, unfortunately, so I hate to talk about it, but there's a photography show. It's 3 photographers in the Bronx that's up now. And I consider myself sort of a hobbyist photographer.
Oh, very nice.
It was absolutely remarkable because 3 photographers. One's still around, Joe Conzo, who does a lot of his work is in the Smithsonian.
Wow.
I know. He did photography from the 70s on, and a lot of the work he did in hip hop is now with the Smithsonian because it was just incredible.
Absolutely.
And then we have a photographer from the 50s, Jules Ahrens, and another Martin Brofman, who did some of the last photographs of Martin Luther King Jr. before he was murdered. Yes.
Oh, wow.
But to walk through and see these photographers that some of them weren't trained. And some of the photos we had were Joe Conzo's from when he was like 16.
Wow.
It's so inspiring to see natural artistry coming out of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and to see like historical photos that are also beautifully posed, or not posed or framed, but not just like a newspaper, like a journalistic sort of, plus a beautiful photo, plus it's striking and it's telling a story.
Wow.
It's just remarkable.
It's captivating.
Yeah.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
And to have a opportunity to work at such a fantastic organization, the Bronx Museum, where we display Cuban art from like a country that has been separated and isolated from the United States, to see the potential that artists have in Cuba at the Bronx Museum. That just almost made me pass out. That's just fantastic.
Wait till we have it there.
Oh my goodness. You've got to tell me, what upcoming events does the Bronx Museum have right now?
Yeah, hosts, as I said, free public programs, usually 1 or 2 a week. Everything from dance to walking tours of the Grand Concourse. We have coming up a film screening in Joyce Kilmer Park, like an outdoor film screening.
Oh, wow.
We have Boogie on the Boulevard. This will be the 2nd year. It's so much fun.
Boogie Down Bronx?
Yeah.
That's why we call it the Boogie Down Bronx, because we boogie on the boulevard.
Right, where we closed the middle of the Grand Concourse, which was quite a feat, yeah.
Wow.
It's from 161st Street to 167th Street. We'll close the middle of the Grand Concourse. We'll bring out every arts organization that will work with us, which is a lot of people.
Bring them out,
yeah,
bring them out.
Lots of individual organizers, lots of community organizers, lots of different organizations. Everything from like rock climbing wall by the NYPD to arts making activities to health organizations. Write that down.
Yeah, can you pass me that, please? Yeah,
the letter set.
Yes, so I can write that down so I can make sure I come out there and represent for BronxNet.
The first 3 Sundays in August.
Okay.
We had it last year. It was the first year that it was organized initially by Bronx Museum and by Transportation Alternatives and a whole bunch of community organizers. So it's a true community event.
Absolutely.
Put on entirely by a huge group of volunteers.
Fantastic.
To make people, think about working and living and walking around in the Bronx and showing people that's a safe place. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we have so much to offer.
So much. There's so much.
Like the Bronx Trolley that Bronx Council on the Arts has going the first Wednesday of every month except September and January. And so thank you so much for shedding light on the amazing things that the Bronx Museum has to offer, the opportunities for artists and the programs, the free admission. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being a part of today's show. And as a token of appreciation, I just would like to say thank you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. So tell me, how can people join the Bronx Museum?
Oh, yeah. So we have a membership program, which is also, there's a $25 Bronx discounted rate, or if you're an artist or if you're a senior, it's also $25.
Fantastic.
Yep. And that gives you admission to, we do like curator tours before the open house for the Young Lords exhibition. You'll get some free tickets, some discounted tickets, discounts at the shop, and discounts at the upcoming cafe. We're opening a cafe in early August.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So
beautiful. So we have a lot to look forward to.
Oh yeah, yeah,
fantastic.
Absolutely.
And remember, the Bronx Museum of the Arts has free admission. So if you're ever taking a walk on the Grand Concourse, stop on in and say hi to Lauren and tell her that you're watching Girl Talk with Gyllian. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Back to you. Well, back to I'll edit that. That was great.
You like that.